Welcome everyone, it's Glacier Guy Rock Glacier as always. How's it going? Doing a little update video. I'm not sure if I'm going to release this Thursday or Friday, but either way, it's whenever you see it, you'll see it. Doing a quick update on the Catachan army and a little bit of the magic and some other armies just want to talk about. So as far as magic's concerned, I've already released the Theros Beyond Death unboxing. Didn't really get a good value as in like cost for the box. I didn't beat the cost of the box, but I was going through all the cards, and I really do enjoy the Theros setting and theme, and yeah, it's one of my favorite theme sets. I just wish that the Beyond Death had just a little bit more power, and I know with collector boxes and everything, it's kind of you get the more collector cards are a little bit more expensive than the regular draft boxes, but I still think the draft boxes should be able to at least get close to that $80 to $100 value. But I mean, we've ran into this before with Gate Crash and RTR. RTR was really worth it, but Gate Crash and what was well, there was Throne of the Gods. So we've been in this situation many times before where like the value of the box doesn't, or the cards in the box don't beat the value. But I was hoping for that one to be a little bit better, but it's not that big of a deal. But anyways, we got our Korea, Core 21, Zendikar Rising, and we got some Commander Legends because I was able to get a case at a pretty good deal. So I'm going to keep 4 of those boxes in the case sealed, and we're going to open 2 of those boxes here. Maybe I might open a 3rd box like later on for like an event or whatever, but we got that. Got some Chaos stuff I want to talk about here for a little bit. And then but first let's talk about the Catachans. So I got all of the let's see if I can turn the camera. So I got all of the camo done. Wait 1 second. Let me lower this down. There we go. All right. Should be able to see that. So I got all of the airbrushed layers. So what I did with 2 layers, I did some Game Air Khaki and some Game Air Dark Green from Vallejo. Pretty good colors. Mostly because it's in the dropper bottles, and I love the dropper bottles for airbrush paint. This one used a lot of khaki and a lot of the dark green. So what I did is I did a base layer of khaki down on all of it. I did that Zenithal. So the last time you guys saw it, it was all black primer. I did a white Zenithal highlight just because I was curious as to what it was going to look like. And I think the Zenithal highlight works really well if you're just doing one layer, like one solid color. Because when I did the Zenithal highlight with just the sand color, it was actually really good. I thought it helped. It required a little bit more coat work, but I think it looked really good. But then I had to like bring up the base layer a little bit in certain areas, but when you start adding the green and the other camo colors, it does a few different things. I think Zenithal highlighting is still a good idea, especially on characters. But on these kind of flat surface vehicles, it's a little hit or miss. I don't know if it was necessary. I think it would have been fine if I would have just left with just like the black primer, or even more of a white or gray primer. I think would have been a lot easier since I went straight to khaki for the tan color. I have right here, we got a finished model, and let's see if I can. I'll do a little zoom in here a little bit, but I did finish one of the models. He's I mean, his base isn't done yet, but aside from that, I actually just finished 2 of the models that you hadn't seen, and I got a couple models in. I got the little Sergeant Ripper models from it was that special event that they had done like 5 months ago. I ordered them and they finally showed up. And then I got over here, I got some Chaos stuff for my Fallen Death Guard army, which the rest of the stuff actually just shipped. And that army consists of a Chaos Lord, a Master of Execution, a Dark Apostle with his minions, 3 Chaos Space Marine squads, 3 Mark III tactical squads to be used as the Fallen squads, and then I got 2 squads of Havocs, 2 separate squads of Havocs. I got a Sorcerer I'm using a Primaris Librarian of Phobos armor, but he's going to count as my Chaos Sorcerer for the Fallen detachment. And I got a 10 or 30 of these Dark Legion shoulder pads for the Mark III, and I got 30 of these Dark Angel Legion heads. So it's going to be essentially 60 infantry units plus characters And then a Vindicator, the 2 Havocs, and I think that might be it. It's going to be a lot of foot slogging infantry, but I really like the concept and idea of Dark Angels. But I didn't want to do another Loyalist army, and I know the Dark Angels Codex just got released, and a lot of people are making Dark Angels, and I figured it'd be kind of funny to do the Fallen side of the Dark Angels, because I don't know when we're going to get an updated 9th edition Chaos Space Marine kit, or Chaos Space Marine Codex. I don't believe we got one. If I'm wrong and the Chaos Space Marine Codex that came out is 9th edition one, well then I apologize. But I don't think we've gotten a good Chaos Space Marine update for 9th edition yet. And I could, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I don't follow the game meta all as much, so I might be a little bit behind on some of the rules. But I do enjoy building the armies and painting them out. And so so we got the Fallen. I don't know if I'm going to like jump right into building them because I'm really excited about them. So I might actually skip some of the other projects I have once the Catachans are done, because Catachans are my primary focus right now. But I'm probably going to jump on these. And I got the Talarn. I actually finally just was able to order a Manticore, because Manticores, they're really popular in 9th right now, apparently, supposedly, because they sell out really quick and really fast. And so I had set that email me one back in stock, and I was just randomly on the GW website last night looking at, I forgot what I was looking at, some Blood Angel stuff. And I just happened to notice, hey, the Manticores are in. And the thing with Manticores is they're a direct from GW. So I was actually thinking about ordering a Soviet Buk system 135th model, which the Buk missile system is a 4 missile system pod. It looks way different than a Manticore, but it does kind of fit the theme. I almost ordered that, but it was like $95 for one model kit. And I was like, but I just happened to notice that they got them in. So I was pretty excited about that, pretty happy about that. And so I ordered the Manticore, and that's for my Talarn. I also ordered a bunch of Scions to go with the Catachan kit army, because the army that I have built out is like 1721 points. And I wanted to round it out to a straight 2000, but I didn't want to build any more Catachan infantry. So I was actually looking at the numbers. I was trying to figure out how to beef up the army to be a full 2000 points. And I like the idea of the Valkyrie being able to drop the infantry squads. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Scions have aerial drop. Like, they basically have... and not drop pod rules. I forget what deep strike. They basically have like an aerial deep strike type of rule, and I don't need vehicles for that. And so I was like, oh, well, yeah. So I was looking at that. And so if I add a Tempestor Prime, I can then take a Militarum Tempestum command squad, throw 4 Melta guns in that, and then I can take 1 infantry squad of Military Tempestus, just the regular 10 dudes, and I can run a sergeant, and I was going to take the Prime with like a power fist and like a plasma pistol. Same thing with the sergeant. I was just trying to get up to 2,000 points. And so I needed, and then I was like, all right, cool. So I was looking at Tempestus, and it was so weird because I normally buy a lot of my models from GW directly from their web store, but right now it's taking like 20 plus days, or I would say 17 to 20 days to ship, because I think I got mine shipped in just under 20 days. But they're quoting a 20-day ship time right now. But if you go on Amazon, there are certain stores and resellers and distributors, I'm assuming, that are selling like $10 to $20 off cost of some of the kits off of retail, and they're shipping them in less 2 or 3 days. And so I was like looking at it, I was like, well, I have to buy the Manticore directly from GW because that's how they sell it. So I bought the Manticore, and then I was like, well, it's like Scions. I was like, I want some Scions, and I need 3 and so I don't really need 3 boxes of Scions. I really only needed 2. But I want the Toroxes from the Scions to go to drive around my Valhallans, so because I already got the wheel kit for the Torox box. And I'm like, all right. So I ordered 3 boxes of the Scion starter sets, and then I got and then I needed a Stormlord, so I ordered the Baneblade kit. But those were all like, I think I saved like $70, $80 because I have Amazon Prime. Ordering them off Amazon, then if I had ordered them from GW, and I do go into my local game store every once in a while, and I do buy supplies from them. But I've never played at any of the local game stores in this area. I'm also still relatively new to this area. For those of you who are like, you should support your local game store, I was like, if I played there more often, I would. And I do go in there and I do buy paint. I do buy models from them. But I was just, at this point in time, I was just like, hey, let's just order these online. Also, the local game stores only have like one box of everything, which is like, plus you're playing local tax, and it just gets, I mean, I'm already paying tax on the order anyways, but yeah, you get what I'm talking about. I just order them online for a lot of the things, and yeah. But anyways, before I get derailed any longer, let's change over and let's look at these Catachan models a little bit closer. All right, we'll do a quick little pan to show you what we got working on here. And so yeah, I just finished doing the green layer today. And the way I achieved that camo pattern is actually kind of funny. I just use Silly Putty. And you can order it online, or you can get it at a local store. I actually ordered a multi-bag of Silly Putty. They still come in these capsules, and I remember these capsules from when I was a kid. No sponsorship, by the way. But anyway, so they come in, and they're a lot more tan than this when they come in. But I don't know how much they pull up any layers of paint that are always sticking there. I didn't let them sit on the model for more than, maybe more than like 10 minutes at the most before I started painting them. And then the painting itself probably took about 10 minutes. So I didn't leave these on there, so they may or may not pull off some of the residual top layers of paint. But this is how I achieved the color, because I had the khaki layer down. I made the patterns with the Silly Putty, and then I sprayed over the Silly Putty. And when you knead the Silly Putty back together, obviously it absorbs the color, but I don't know how long you can reuse this before it either loses elasticity or starts to ruin things. But it worked for these, and for the Vendetta, I recommend at least 4 of these Silly Putty capsules. 3 is enough for like the Sentinel. 1 or 2 is good enough for the Sentinels. 3 is good enough for tanks, but for something as big as the Vendetta, you definitely need about 4 of these. So I got Silly Putty, and yeah, and with the airbrush work, I did, some areas are a little darker, some areas are a little lighter, and that's just where like the way layering works, because the airbrush comes out in a certain, weird kind of line. And so when you put a lot of paint in one area, it gets really thick and dark. And when you go a little bit lighter, it's a little lighter. But I actually think that the tonal thing is going to look pretty good when I'm all done with highlights and everything. So so these are the 2 Sergeant Ripper models that you get with it was like a special edition box set. I forget why, but unfortunately I missed out on the Catachan Commander one, the one that kind of looked like guy off Predator. I missed out on that one, but I got 2 of these, and I'm going to use these as company commanders with bolt guns and chainswords, or platoon commanders, not company commanders. So I'm going to paint, probably going to paint 1 Caucasian and 1 probably a darker skin tone, just to kind of just to match how my army is painted in different skin tones. But as far as the models that I have finished painting, let me zoom in on these guys. And see if I can move the light to get a little bit better light on these 2. So we got Seville Rain, I think is what her name is. And we'll see if I can get this to zoom in. So yeah, she of course I painted her green instead of the normal Commissar black, but I think the green actually came out really well on her, and helps her fit the Catachan theme a little bit better. The green and the red. The yellow is basically just Averland Sunset with a slight highlight of I forget, it's like Flash Gets Yellow or something like that, but it's mostly Averland Sunset. And then the rest of the golds and everything are kind of just based on the box art. And then the green is like Caliban green and Strachan green mixed together. I think I may have done a light Ogren camo highlight, but not really. But I think she turned out pretty well. And so we got that one. Now but this is what the Sentinel is going to look like this is basically what the vehicles are going to look like when they're done. And I think the Sentinel came out pretty well. This part right here in the back is a much lighter tan because I had made a mistake. So when you're doing tanks or any kind of vehicles, when you do your wash, you're supposed to just kind of pick out the rivets and the line detail. But as you notice on the Sentinel, there's so much panel detail. There's not a whole lot of flat surfaces on a Sentinel. There are flat surfaces, but when I was using the wash brush, I was using a regular base brush or a layer brush, but I had put a little bit too much wash on, and then it spilled and pooled all the way down, and I got frustrated. So I just washed the entire model, which I think, it was faster. And then I did the dry brush over top of it to try to like kind of get rid of some of those streaks. But I think it'll look a lot better on the next two when I do, if I keep more steady hand and use just a little bit less wash on this one. But I still think overall in the end, I think the Sentinel turned out really well. And I know with the red on this little lens area, it's not all done up, or it's not all done up. It's all done up like a normal lens is. It's just red paint. It's just so I will do a little bit of the lens work later on. It's just it's a weird flat surface to work on. It's not rounded, so it's not like a bulb or a globe or anything. And so I think I'll work on that when I finish the other ones up, and I'll just try to do them all three at the same time. But I was just kind of hastily throwing this together I think it was last night, or maybe the night before, and I was just trying to get it all done. I think this was last night. But I think overall this is how the Hellhounds are gonna look, how the Vendettas are gonna look when they're done, or the Valkyries, and I think this is gonna look pretty good. And yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for the update. Yeah. If anybody has anything that they would questions or comments, please leave them down below, and let me know how you're liking the channel. I'm getting a fair few number of new subscribers, which I think is pretty cool, and a couple new commenters, so it's pretty good. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a great day, and see you around.